I've been told that the girlies are now in their decentering men era, which I'm all for, power to the women them. It's high time, that we start to evolve out of this desperative need and craving to be partnered up with the opposite gender as a form of accomplishment. But I'm seeing a couple of flaws in this movement that I want to address and that I feel like needs like, sharpening up a little bit. Because, in theory, the whole concept of decentering men sounds very empowering. But when it comes to putting action to plan, that's where I see a lot of ladies fall short. Um, so I just kind of want to highlight some things, speak my truth, things that I've noticed, etc., etc. I think the first biggest obstacle that a lot of women aren't aware of when it comes to this movement is that if you're planning on decentering men, that also means devaluing their opinions and their degrading commentary and their degrading narratives that they love to spew onto women to oppress them. I find that there's still a lot of women that, on one hand, they're like, yeah, women empowerment, female liberation, da, 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 da. But as soon as they find an opportunity to bash another woman, they then resort to using these same tactics, using these same narratives, using these same commentary to oppress other women. When it's like, bitch, pick a side. It's either you're looking for liberation or you're trying to also uphold the patriarchy. Like, you can't now dip and dabble into whatever you see fit. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I genuinely believe that if, as a collective, we're really going to strive for female empowerment, female liberation and superiority in this system, or to create our own system entirely, I personally believe that a lot of the pygmishas of the world are going to have to die off. Don't shoot me. But I just feel like there's too many desperate women out here. There's too many pygmishas that are still rampant around, plaguing the movement, plaguing the cause, because they still very much so lack the solidity. Is that even a word? They still very much so lack the confidence to live a prosperous, successful life without the propaganda of being a trad wife and being a mother and being a personal slave to a man. And I think that's very embarrassing. All the tea, all the shade. I think that's very embarrassing. I think that's very pathetic, especially in 2025. Women have come a long way to gain a level of autonomy for themselves and this, liberation for themselves. And it saddens me to see that there's still women out here that are so desperate to fit into this olden ideology that has been very clearly proven to not benefit us in any way, shape, or form. So why are you still trying to feed into a dumb bitch? Anyways, yeah. So I genuinely believe like a lot of like the pygmishas of the world need to die off before we actually are able to, move forward with creating a matriarchy, having more women in political positions or just in power in general. Because it's you ladies is that very interesting percentage of women that seem to still be holding us back. Because as soon as they get the opportunity to tear down the next bitch, They use the same manipulative, condescending, belittling tactics that men use and have been using for a millennia at this point, to suppress us and oppress us. And I find that so ew, like get a grip. Oh, that's so disgusting. But then when your man is now beating you black and blue, now that's when you're for, women empowerment. Bitch, bye. You stay stuck with your woman beater of a partner. Anyways. For instance, yeah, as somebody that works in the spicy industry, I've been made aware of a lot of the ways that women a lot of the tactics that women use to oppress each other. We love to speak about misogyny and men being this and men doing that and that. But I feel like there's not enough fingers pointing at each other on the ways that we also suppress and oppress each other. Because there is unfortunately a lot of women that still have internalized misogyny. Um, and I don't know. It actually, I don't know. Like on one hand, I can't fully blame you bitches because we've all been there. I've been there. I've been a pick you know, back when I had no self worth, back when I did not know my value, back when I hated myself, back when I craved male validation to make me feel like I was worth something, like I was actually important to somebody. But it's only when I decided to work on myself, understand who I am as a person, took the time to love myself, appreciate my gifts and my flaws, and be real with myself on how I choose to evolve and the woman that I want to become by myself, not in a romantic partnership, just as a standalone individual, not seeing myself in the eyes of a mother or in the eyes of a wife or whatever, just seeing myself as a standalone individual. Who does that woman look like? And then taking actions to work towards becoming that woman. Um, that's when everything shifted. But then with that shift came the exposure of how other women still hate themselves and try and drag other women down to hate themselves. Now, for instance, obviously being in the spicy industry, a lot of the regular boring commentary that I get is, oh, you have no self-respect, you're objectifying yourself, you're devaluing yourself for male pleasure, yada 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 yada. I'm so bored of it. I'm so over it. Like, you guys have been saying this since fucking the 1700s. Get over yourself. Like, first and foremost, I'm going to debunk all of that. For instance, this whole objectify. Actually, let's even speak about that for a quick second, yeah? Because I find this whole topic of objectification of oneself being in the spicy industry very interesting, because I don't think a lot of women realize that the men themselves don't actually give a fuck. Like, on one hand, I can understand it from the woman's perspective of like, oh, you're objecting for yourself as a sex symbol, blah, 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 or blah, blah, when it's like, but on the men's side of things, they're not having these type of conversations. Like, men don't sit and think, oh yeah, I'm objectifying this woman. Oh, they're like, they don't view things like that. It's only women that have these very like grandiose conversations about these type of things, and then use these concepts to further like repress themselves and oppress themselves and to victimize themselves, when realistically, especially as a spicy dancer and a dominatrix, well, I guess my dominatrix side is a different thing altogether. As a spicy dancer, it's a two-way street. Like, yes, I'm aware these men may see me as a sex symbol or a goddess of sensuality and whatnot, but it's also a two-way street. The same way you see me as a sex symbol, I see you as an ATM. I see you as a bank. Do me, I do you. Man, no go vex up on the dance floor. Oh, because if you give it to me, I could give it to you. Give it to me some. It's that simple. And I think a lot of women don't understand that regardless of whether he's in the strip club or whether he's out of the strip club, men are gonna see you as a form of sexual pleasure. Period. As long as you have a pussy between your legs, that is all they're gonna want from you at the end of the day. Now, he can come and lie and say, "Oh yeah, I like you for your personality. I like you." Da, da, da. But at the end of the day, if you're willing to give it up, you think he's not gonna take it. If it's up for capture, you think he's not gonna take it, take advantage of that, use that as an opportunity to, you know, indulge in. Hello, let's not be stupid here. So instead of trying to, and that's one thing that I feel like a lot of women need to understand, is like you cannot force somebody to see you in a light that they will never see you in. If somebody respects you, it's because they want to. Period. If someone does not like you, it's because they do not want to like you. And you'll find every reason in the book to not like you. You can try and mold yourself to be the perfect human being, to be so likable, to be so considerate, to be so cooperative to their needs and whatever bullshit, yeah. But if they do not want to like you, they won't. Period. And the same thing goes with men. If a man does not want to respect you, if a man does not want to see any inherent value in you, he's never going to. No matter how much you mold and constrict and construct yourself to be the good woman or to be the perfect woman, there is no such thing as a perfect woman. It does not exist. Like the mummy of Lagos said, good girl, no they pay you. Hey, remember that. Good girl, no they pay. And literally it was the moment that I realized that it really like entered my brain cells. That's when I said, yeah, I'm done being a good woman. I'll be so real, because me being a good woman has only led me to being sexually abused, physically abused, led me to emotional turmoil, led me to feeling shit about myself, developed more insecurities than I needed to, triggered abandonment issues, just led me to living a very miserable, low vibrational life. And that was when I was trying to be a good girl. So then I said, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm gonna be a bad girl. A bad girl. I'm gonna be a bad girl. And play the game. Because that's what this is. It's a game. That's what this whole shit. When it comes to dealing with men, you are in a game. You are in a simulation. It is a game. And the only way you can get played is if you aren't aware of how the game works. Now, for women that are in the spicy industry like myself, we are aware of this game. We understand how men play this game. So therefore, it gives us an advantage because now we can play the game with intellect, with education, with knowledge. So we end up benefiting out of this game instead of getting played like the rest of you dumbass bitches that are craving and desperate for love because you want to feel loved, you want to feel like you match with someone, you want to feel like you're important to somebody. Instead of getting played, we play. So now we're on even playing fields. Do you know what I'm saying? So either I win or we both win. Either way, I'm leaving here with something. I'm winning regardless. It's either I get the upper hand and I win, or we both leave with what was intended, which is more so a transactional situation. Do you get what I'm saying? Which is a lot of the times what the Spicy Club is in. What it is. Do you know what I'm saying? You come into the club looking for the attention and the validation and the company of beautiful, sexy women like myself. I want your money. So therefore, you are willing to pay for my company and for for my validation and whatever bullshit else other reason you come to the strip club for, or for a good time, or for to see some titties, or to see some ass. I don't know, whatever the fuck. Do you know what I'm saying? And I get financially compensated for it, and I leave the club with my bills paid and a happy girl. It's a win-win situation. Whereas a lot of you women are out here indulging with these men, sleeping with these men, having babies with these men, catching STDs left, right, and center, and still being left on your asses, poor, broke, insecure, miserable, and still desperately craving for love, like still desperately craving that love. So who's really lacking the self-respect here? Because let's actually really break it down here. There's women out here that are willingly having babies with men with no legal structure put in place to where he has to legally financially compensate you to help the child. There's women out here that are in relationships with men that are beating them black and blue all over the fucking place, but you refuse to leave because you love him. There are women in marriages that are being neglected, that are being cheated on every fucking day of their bumbleclat lives, that are being disrespected but won't leave because they don't want to feel the shame, whatever shame comes with being a single woman, because they're scared of what their peers or their family members are going to say about them divorcing their partner. But yet, I'm the one that does not have any self-respect because I'm a spicy dancer. But yet, I'm the one that does not value myself because I'm a spicy dancer. Okay. You go to the club and shake your ass for a man to buy you Casamigos. I go to the club and shake my ass and get my rent paid. Like, priority, ladies. Priorities. This is not even me to make digs. This is not the point of the video. The point of the video is just trying to help women understand that a lot of these narratives that you guys are feeding and repeating to oppress other women are not beneficial. Because if we were to really like take a step back and see the bigger picture, the shit ain't really adding up realistically. Like, if anybody's really disrespecting themselves, it's the normal women of the earth that are fornicating and engaging with these men without understanding the game that they're playing. And then wondering why they keep getting dogged out, wondering why they keep getting abused, wondering why they keep getting used left, right, and center, wondering how they got manipulated and gaslighted and bamboozled left, right, and fucking center. Out of the desperation and the you know, the desire for it to be loved. This kind of gonna die, isn't it? Oh my fucking god. I just want us to be a bit more consciously aware of the narratives that we're spewing and using to oppress each other, because realistically, it's not benefiting either one of us, you know, and a lot of the times you just look dumb, realistically, especially when you're trying to, like, you know, insult spicy workers. You just look dumb, because the things that a lot of you guys are taking, the things that you guys are like, you know, accepting for yourself is disgraceful. And while you can come and try and shame us for, you know, financially benefiting from it, you know, I'd rather this than be getting taken for an idiot. Now, this is also not me saying that you should not become a spicy worker. Hell no, because being in this industry is not for the weak. Like, you have to be mentally strong, you have to be emotionally intelligent and emotionally disciplined, which is a fault for a lot of women as well. But that's another conversation for another day. And once again, you have to have thick skin because you're gonna end up getting a lot of backlash. But so I definitely would not recommend this industry for any woman until you actually are 100% certain that you want to get into it and you know your reason why you want to get into it. Um, and you're mentally strong enough and emotionally strong enough to actually endure it. But like I said, I just want all of us to be a bit more intelligent about how we go about these type of things and take an actual good look at yourself and whether your tactics for decentering men is actually providing results. And you're not just talking out of your fucking ass, but your actions are also reflecting your end goal. Do you know what I'm saying? And the bigger vision of this whole movement, you know? But yeah, that's it. Let me know what ways. Let me know if you are actually on your decentering men journey. What was that triggering factor for you to get to start that journey of yours, to enter the movement and whatnot? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.